Richard Blanco writes, "We hold these truths to be self-evident. We are the cure for hatred caused by despair. We are the good morning of a bus driver who remembers our name, the tattooed man who gives up his seat on the subway. We're every door held open with a smile, and when we look into each other's eyes, the way we behold the moon, we are the moon. We're the promise of one people, one breath, declaring to one another, I see you, I need you, I am you."
Good morning, and welcome to First Parish Church of Groton. I'm Krista Ingram, and my pronouns are she, her, and I am the church's clerk, and I am very nervous up here. We are a community seeking to deepen spiritually, to take care of one another, and to be a blessing to the world. Unitarian Universalism is a faith for all, so bring all of who you are, all of your beliefs, identities, abilities, challenges, and gifts. Bring all of what you've been and all of what you've done. There is room for all of it. Our congregation includes a wide diversity of beliefs. I invite you to freely translate the language that you hear today. If you're visiting for the first time today, whether here in person or online, we're really glad that you found us. If you'd like more information, email us at welcome@uugroton.org. We are not concerned about the human noise during the service, and we hope that you won't be either. However, the service is broadcast several places downstairs if anyone needs to take a break. Soft pouches are in each pew. The soft pouches you can find in each pew have quiet toys in them, and there are 2 nurseries with toys for the door by the high pulpit, and you're welcome to take the kids there as well. There is a small masks required section in the back on the parking lot side for those who prefer to sit with other masked people. And please know we have a very effective air filtration system running. We are once again hosting virtual church gatherings on Zoom at 7 p.m. on Sunday evenings. All are welcome. If you need the link, please email us at welcome@uugroton.org. Special thanks to Melissa Wood, who is filming this morning, and to the adult choir, Julie Andrews and Sue Gleason are ushering today. They have large print lyric sheets and assisted listening devices. If you need anything at all during the service, they will be happy to help. The flowers on our altar today are given by Deb and Rob Busser with gratitude to the First Parish community. A few announcements about things happening today. Please join us for our Black Lives Matter vigil today and every Sunday at 11:30 on the main street in front of our church. Coffee hour is back, and all are welcome to come to the vestry, which is the big room beneath us. After the service, Lee will greet you there. Thank you to the welcoming committee for making this happen, and please support them with offers to help. If you have a joy, gratitude, or prayer, or you'd like to have included in the minister's daily prayers, fill out a prayer card found in each pew, or email it to prayers@uugroton.org. Just think, you could be doing what I'm doing right now. Hopefully, a lot less nervous. It's glamorous, right? We have a worship leader training today at 11:45. Bring your coffee and come if you're interested to the second floor East Wing couch area. That's right back here. Also today at 11:30, the welcoming team will host Exploring First Parish Welcoming Conversations. Catherine Darpino will tell us what she loves about working with religious education. That's happening in the small room called the library right off the vestry where coffee hour is, next to the hallway area with the outside door. It's sort of over here downstairs. We have learned through the pandemic that our sanctuary is not in this room or any place at all. Sanctuary is what we create together. Please come in and rest a while. You are so welcome here. Please take a second to wave to the camera and say hi to the virtual congregation. And let's stand and able and take a moment to greet each other.
Watch us on YouTube. There we go. There's Noah. There's Miles.
Good morning. You say good morning?
I know it doesn't look like people, but it is. Hi, people. They're hidden. How does this work?
Good morning.
One day we're just going to have church where we just talk the whole time. Good morning. I'm Lee Kindy. My pronouns are they, them, their. I have the honor of serving as your intern minister. I'd like to extend a special welcome this morning to an extended member of my family. Ali Camerata has been Lars's dear friend since he was 6 months old. And she and her friend Delaney, I think maybe at their first Unitarian Universalist service ever this morning, from Arizona. So we're going to stand as able, and the choir will lead us in our opening hymn, a song that has been called the Freebird of Unitarian Universalism. It is our rock anthem, often requested, super popular. Join us in body or spirit on your feet.
I
The 3 bells at the start of worship invite us to settle into our bodies, to notice what we notice, to remind us that we're whole. We're already whole. We belong wholly upon this earth, and we are held in the love that holds us all. So with each bell, we invite you to breathe in and release if that's comfortable. You might instead, or in addition, tighten fists and release them. You can close your eyes and open them. It's a small gesture of opening to the blessings. So this first one is specifically for you. And the second is sending it to the ones you love. And the third for this whole beautiful aching world. If you're with us remotely, I invite you to get a candle or a chalice and light it as we light the common chalice in our sanctuary, in our meeting house here. The idea of a flaming chalice grew out of the Unitarian Service Committee's work during World War II. It's a symbol of trust and courage, a symbol of supporting each other through resistance, through oppression, and through tyranny. And because I know that Don Torgerson is somebody who is very concerned about the polarization that's been steadily growing in our country, not only disagreement on issues, but also personal contempt and distrust between people, I asked him specifically to reflect on that topic in a chalice lighting this morning, and he graciously accepted the invitation. Come on up, Don.
Okay, I'm Don Torgerson, and this is the scariest place that I could ever be. I light this candle today for hope, compassion, understanding, and acceptance. The politics of today is so dividing. And it hurts. It hurts me a lot. And what I've learned to do is I've learned to listen with an understanding that others that have different beliefs are truly theirs. They are different, but as they believe them, they're good. And they are what they believe. An example of this is my own family. I have my parents and 2 siblings that are conservative. And in this family of 6 children and 23 grandchildren and of my parents, the politic is done in our family. And we discuss it, we yell, get angry, then we simmer, and then we let it be, and then we hug, because we know that all of us love and care for each other as we do, and the difference is okay. Love is the way. So I light the candle and pray so that this can be for all of us.
Courage is our theme this month. So we also light a peace candle on Sunday mornings to remind us that Ukraine is still at war, as are Myanmar and Libya and Syria and other places. Vietnamese Buddhist monk and peace activist Thich Nhat Hanh taught us that if we look deeply into the weapons of war, we'll see our own prejudices, our fears, and our ignorance, and that to work for peace is to uproot war from our own hearts and from our own families. We light our peace candle to reaffirm our commitment to work for peace together. And Caroline Waters has agreed to come up and light our peace candle this morning, which we have moved up to the chancel. Please join us in singing Carolyn McDade's song, Spirit of Life. We remain seated for this one. We sing it in Spanish first, translated by Reverend Aaron Barrios, and then in English. The words are in your yellow order of service. Cindy's going to help us hold up signs. So we're going to all line up, I guess. She's better at herding cats than I am, which is why I have her doing this. Excellent. All like a single file row, is that what we want? Cool. Awesome. And you're going to get to hold a nice bright thing. So just check this out. There you go. Today's your birthday?
Yeah, it's my birthday.
It's not? Oh, your brother says later. Happy birthday to all the people.
Yeah. Okay, hold this. I want to see your face first.
Is this going to magically work out with the right number?
No, I'm right. Oh, you get to hold these this way.
Almost. Oh, we're going to hold two. Oh, Cindy's going to hold one. Perfect. What does it say? I can't see it from back there.
Let's hold it up high over your heads.
Sponsor us. That was cool. So far we've raised $7,200, which is 36% of the total that we need. And y'all, this right here, this beautiful lot, this is some of the most important work we do in this church. When we dedicate children here, we make them a promise, and funding is part of our promise. So that's the invitation.
All right, thank you, Cindy. Woohoo.
All right.
Preschool teacher, kindergarten teacher, what did you teach?
Preschool through second grade.
Preschool through second grade. All right, so y'all can turn around and sit down like we usually do. We don't usually make you stand, do we? All right. I'm tired of that high stool. Let me down here. All right, has anybody heard the name Amanda Gorman before? Does that ring a bell? Yeah, you have, Rebecca. You have it at all?
I have to write a very important poem.
Exactly.
There was a little president.
Exactly. Yeah, she did the poem, the inaugural poem for President Biden.
Yeah.
Yep. She's a poet, right? So somebody who writes poems for a living, isn't that a cool idea? Some people write songs for a living. Amanda Gorman writes poems. She was our first youth poet laureate.
Inauguration.
Inauguration, that's exactly the word, yes.
I just had to get it out.
Yeah, no, I get you. So Amanda Gorman is now 24 years old. She was born the same year as my daughter, 1998. And she made this book called Change Sings. So it's got a picture of a guitar, which is kind of cool because it's like a poem that sings. Now sometimes we sing actual notes, right? And this is like a poem that sings. So some of y'all, after you leave the sanctuary here this morning, are gonna go downstairs and write a song with Lisa Martino. So I thought this would be a good book for us to check out. And these pictures are really, really cool. All right, it says, I can hear change humming. It's the loudest, proudest song. I don't fear change coming, and so I sing along. It is a big guitar. She's a little kid in that picture. Anybody know who this picture is?
Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King Jr., that's right, Reverend Dr. Martin. I scream with the skies of red and blue streamers. I dream with the cries of tried and true dreamers. So he's on the dreamer page because he wrote a very famous speech called I Have a Dream. That's exactly right, Michael. I'm a chant that rises and rings. There is hope when my change sings. Though some don't understand it, those windmills of mystery, I sing with all the planet and all its hills of history. I hum with 100 hearts, each of us lifting a hand. I use my strength and my smarts to take a knee and make us stand. Anybody know what take a knee stands for, or what it's referring to? There's a football player who started kneeling during the national anthem, and there was a big stink about it. And you can look that up, and I'm blanking on his name right
Yeah, I
now.
don't remember that.
Yeah. Anyway,
Can't remember.
that's what she's talking about there. I am bright as the light each day brings. There is love, and my change sings. There's a tuba, there's a guitar, that's a funny duo, I love it. I show others tolerance, though it might take some courage. I don't make a taller fence, but fight to build better bridges. So we're talking about making taller fences. Fences are like things that keep us apart from people, right? So instead of making a taller fence, she's talking about building a better bridge between people, right? So we can understand each other better. I talk not only of distances from where and how we came, I also walk our differences to show we are the same. I'm a movement that roars and springs. There's a wave when my change sings. Courage sings where? They're inside me, because I'm the change I want to see. So y'all are going to write a song downstairs. The younger folks are going to write a song about courage today. This is what she's saying about it. Courage is inside of me, because that's where I change first, right? As I grow, it grows like seeds, and I am just what the world needs. That is true for each one of you. You are just what the world needs. Did you know that?
Yeah. I'm the voice where freedom rings, and you're the love your bright heart brings. We are the wave starting to spring, for we are the change we sing. We're what the world is becoming, and I know it won't be long. So this last picture has all the instruments and all the people playing and all the people dancing. We all hear change strumming. Won't you sing along? There she is with this big old guitar. Yeah. So that is the book for today. If y'all want to bring it downstairs, you're welcome to. We're going to listen to the adult choir sing. You like that? That's cool, right? We're going to listen to the adult choir sing a beautiful song, and Sean's going to talk about it a little bit first. You can stay here and listen, or you can go back and sit with your grown-ups. And then after that, we'll send you downstairs with Jackie Waters.
Hopefully his mic is working better this today. Sounds all right. This is a song that Melinda Stewart brought to us a year ago, and so we're just now ready to do this. Melinda's sister Cheryl is here helping out. And if you hear some bells, that's Melinda's sister Cheryl is doing that. And Sue Mears is going to start us off and play the melody on the flute. The translation of the text here is, I am of the Great Spirit. It is so.
goes down the stairs. Okay, now we're going to do Sanctuary, which as a song prayer, which is the insert in your order of service. This is the theme song, shall we say, of Sanctuary Boston. Actually, that's how we got our name. It's a rooted community of started by and for young adults. So, choir will do this. Thank you.
Feel free to improvise harmony on this, which is what we're doing to this very beautiful song.
I'll invite us now into a spirit of prayer and meditation. Let all busy callings and scattered thoughts, unfinished wonderings take their leave in this next exhale. Let all pain here present be held in the loving arms of compassion. And let those in pain rest for a moment in the faithful presence of courage and grace. Let grief be honored as the love it is. We send our prayers and our love to Morning Star and to Vigo. To Sal and Barty's family and loved ones. To Helen, who has an upcoming surgery. Celebrated as a path toward healing and also challenging as surgery always is. We send our prayers and all our wishes to our own children, to our young adults, to our grown children. And we send our prayers to the children of Ukraine, especially those who are being transported to Russia. Let love in its abundance flow here. In us, through us, between us, and outward from us for the nourishing of this world. As we listen in the sounds of us together for the meditations of each of our hearts, let us listen also for yes. Our collective generosity in all its forms, financial and time, energy and spirit, it all sustains this congregation and allows us to do this work of deepening spiritually, of caring for each other, and of being a blessing to this world. And we can't make church without all of us. Our morning offering will be given and gratefully received. This report was written by Bison in about 1991. All right, let's have it.
They're made out of meat.
I'm sorry, meat?
Meat. They're made out of meat.
Meat.
Look, there's no doubt about it. We picked several from different parts of the planet, took them aboard our recon vessels, and probed them all the way through. They're completely meat.
No, that's impossible. Okay, what about the radio signals? What about the messages to the stars?
They use the radio waves to talk, but the signals don't come from them. The signals come from machines.
Okay, good. So who made the machines? Because that's who we need to talk to.
They made the machines. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Meat made the machines.
No. That is ridiculous. How can meat make a machine? You're asking me to believe in sentient meat.
I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. These creatures are the only sentient race in the sector, and they're made out of meat.
No. Okay, so maybe they're like the orfly, who, carbon-based intelligence that goes through a meat steak, right?
No. They're born meat, and they die meat. We studied them for several of their lifespans, which didn't take too long. Do you have any idea of a lifespan of meat?
Spare me. Okay, maybe they're only part meat. Like the wet-eye, the meathead with an electronic plasma brain, right?
We thought of that, since they do have meatheads like the Weedle-eye. But I told you, we probed them. They're meat all the way through.
No brain.
Oh, there is a brain, all right. It's just that the brain is made out of meat.
So what does the thinking?
You're not understanding, are you? The brain does the thinking, the meat.
Okay, thinking meat? You're asking me to believe in thinking meat.
Yes, thinking meat. Conscious meat, loving meat, dreaming meat. The meat is the whole deal. Are you getting the picture?
Oh my God. You're serious. They're like made out of meat?
Finally, yes, they are indeed made out of meat. And they've been trying to get in touch with us for almost 100 of their years.
No. Okay, good. I'll play along. So what does the meat have in mind?
Well, first it wants to talk to us, then I imagine it wants to explore the universe, contact other sentients, swap ideas and information. The usual.
Okay, right. We're supposed to talk to meat.
I mean, that's the idea. That's the message they're sending out by radio. Hello, anyone out there? Anybody home? That sort of thing.
Wait, so they talk. They use like words and ideas and concepts and...
Oh yeah, except they do it with me.
But you just told me they use the radio.
They do, but what do you think is on the radio? Meat sounds. No, you know how when you slap or flap meat, it makes a noise? They talk by flapping their meat at each other. They can even sing by squirting air through their meat.
Oh my God. Singing meat. All right, I'm sorry. This is altogether too much. It's too much. So what is it that you're advising me?
Officially or unofficially?
Yes, please. Both.
Officially, we are required to contact, welcome, and log in any and all sentient races or multi-beings in the quadrant without prejudice, fear, or favor. Unofficially, I advise that we erase the records and forget the whole thing.
I was so hoping you would say that last part.
It seems harsh, but there is a limit. Do we really want to make contact with meat?
Thank you. Yes, I agree 100%. What is there to say? Hello? Meat. Like, what's going on? Wait. So is this going to work? I mean, how many planets are out there? What are we talking about?
Just one. They can travel to other planets in special meat containers.
That's cute.
But they can't live on them. And being meat, they only travel through sea space, which limits them to the speed of light and makes the possibility of their ever making contact pretty slim. Infinitesimal, in fact.
Okay. So we just pretend from the, what are they called, humans?
Mm-hmm.
From the human standpoint that there's no one home in the universe.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's cruel, but as you said yourself, who wants to meet? I mean, okay. Wait, so what about the ones that we brought aboard our vessels? Like, you've probed them, right? So how are they not going to remember?
Oh, they'll be considered crackpots if they do. We went into their heads and smoothed out their meat, so we're just a dream to them.
A dream to meet. How strangely appropriate that we should be meat's dream.
And we can mark this sector unoccupied.
Good, agreed. Officially, unofficially, unoccupied. Okay, case closed. Any others? Is there anyone interesting on this side of the galaxy?
Yeah, a rather shy but sweet hydrogen core cluster intelligence in a class 9 star G445 zone.
Okay.
Was in contact 2 galactic rotation ago. Wants to be friendly again.
Yeah, they always come around.
And why not? Imagine how unbearably, unutterably cold the universe would be if one were all alone.
Good point. Thank you, Emma. I was so sure that y'all were going to howl with laughter through that. That we practiced, like, pausing. But I guess that's not how it rolls today. It's so easy for us to write each other off, right? Like me. I had a hospice patient who was a Korean War veteran. And his mission in life, ever since he returned home in 1953, was to bring back the bodies of his 2 best friends from his squad. He loved to sing patriotic songs and traditional Christian hymns with me, tell all his stories, weaving in tears and regret. His son, Doug, was utterly devoted to him. While I was working with the family, the father got to the point where he couldn't live alone anymore. And so Doug built, with his own hands, an accessible wing on his house. He arranged it just like Dad wanted. And when his father mentioned missing seeing a flag waving in the breeze, Doug erected a 40-foot flagpole and flew an 8 by 12-foot flag on it that Dad could see out his window. My job as a hospice music therapist puts me in close touch with people I would otherwise never meet. And magically, my job is to fall utterly in love with each one of them. To connect as deeply as I can, and always to understand that my time with them is limited and temporary. I loved my patient, and I loved Doug fiercely. Doug called me when his dad was nearing death. I showed up and Doug answered the door, and I first saw this exhausted and deeply sad face. And then I saw his t-shirt. It was a black t-shirt with a thick white drawing of a pole and a not realistically shaped naked woman dancing with the pole. And in big, bold letters, the shirt said, "I support single mothers." So I took a deep breath, and I said, "Hey, Doug, I'm so glad to see you." And the heart grows, because I knew that in another situation, I would have written him off. Written him in that shirt off without ever knowing him, like meat. And the heart grows deep in my bones, knowing that Doug belongs here as much as anyone in this room does. That belonging is all of our irreducible need. It's essential. When I first started studying Buddhist psychology, I came across a concept that has stayed with me and has been so helpful ever since. It's something called the near enemy. So there's near enemies. So I'm going to explain it a little bit. Think of a quality that you're wanting to practice or embody. So we're going to use as an example loving kindness. What we call the far enemies of loving kindness are pretty easy to recognize, right? Things like hatred, indifference, dehumanization. So they're far from loving kindness. But the near enemies are super tricky. They're super sneaky because they can appear to be really similar, even synonymous. That's why they're near. But they're actually the thing that will prevent us from getting what we really want. They'll completely undermine what we're going for. So with loving kindness, some of the near enemies might be clinginess, right? Grasping at someone or something when we're not holding ourselves up at the same time. Or another near enemy might be a controlling kind of attachment, a possessiveness that's all about us and our desire for comfort and security and isn't about the object of our loving kindness, what we're trying to send loving kindness to or who we're sending it to. So I've been thinking and talking a lot about a deeper, more radical welcome, about embrace. And that's because this is a central idea, a central feature of the creation of true Unitarian Universalist community. So what I'm talking about today is the same concept, but from the angle of belonging instead. So the near enemy of belonging is fitting in. Social science researcher and author Brene Brown asked a bunch of 5th graders, what's the difference between belonging and fitting in? And y'all know that 5th graders know this better than anyone in the world because it feels to them like life or death. It feels like their lives depend on this difference. I'm going to tell you 2 of the things that they said. They're so clear and so beautiful. Belonging is being accepted for being you. Fitting in is being accepted for being like everybody else. Belonging is being accepted for being you. Fitting in is being accepted for being like everybody else. And the second one, if I get to be me, I belong. If I have to be like you, I fit in. If I get to be me, I belong. If I have to be you, I fit in. The chapter in Brene Brown's latest book, Atlas of the Heart, on searching for connection, has some of the most important information I have ever read on this topic, and it's based in research, but it's super important, especially for churches, especially for faith organizations. First of all, our sense of belonging anywhere can never be greater than our level of self-acceptance. Our sense of belonging cannot exceed, no matter where we are, our level of self-acceptance. And that's one of the reasons why the first step of our mission here is to deepen spiritually. That's part of the mission. Secondly, in order to feel real belonging, not fitting in, real belonging, we have to be able to be authentically who we are, all of who we are. So if we're hiding ourselves, we're not going to be able to experience that kind of depth of belonging. And it's not that belonging is all in or all out, right? There are levels, there are times we feel like we belong and then we might pop over into fitting in. This is not a binary, you're not stuck in one or the other. Okay. Brown's research shows that when we have a sense of belonging within a context that includes connection with deep and shared humanity, right? Like we have here, belonging within a context that includes a sense of deep shared humanity, humanity that's immutable, that's inextricable, then We feel like we have the freedom to be different, to be our unique, individual, quirky, messy, authentic human selves, and to grow into more of ourselves because we know our humanity is not going to be questioned. Does that make sense? If we're within a context that accepts humanity in all of its messiness, then we can bring our authentic selves more fully because we know our humanity won't be questioned. And to me, this is exactly how our faith, how the religion of Unitarian Universalism holds at the center. We can show up and worship together with different beliefs and practices because the center is shared humanity and love that are unassailably deep enough and wide enough to hold us all in belonging. And because we're simultaneously committed to paying attention to the folks at the edges, to the folks who have so often felt like they don't belong. When we do those two things, we hold the center with humanity, with unassailable love, and we pay attention to the edges. We have a faith that can save lives. We have a faith that does save lives. One of the tricks is paying attention, vigilance, to the folks at the edges, and paying attention to those near enemies. But before I went to seminary, I struggled to even say what Unitarian Universalism was. It can be remarkably tricky not to just say what it isn't. I remember using the phrase like-minded. It was a common phrase. I have come to believe that community of like-minded individuals and social club are actually the near enemies of Unitarian Universalism. I know that's out there. I know there are deep discussions to be had about that statement, and I will have them with you. And I look forward to it. Do you need to say something? I can repeat what I just said, you bet. I love it when people ask what they need. Oh, thank you. I have come to believe that the idea of this is a community of like-minded individuals. So that idea as a defining thing for Unitarian Universalism, or the feeling that this is a social club where you have to come with your liberal political beliefs, whatever you put in the frame here, right? That you have to come with anything in particular. That those two things are actually near enemies of actual Unitarian Universalism. Okay? And I'm not saying, don't hear that I'm saying we shouldn't find friends here, or that we shouldn't socialize with each other, or that there aren't ways that we're indeed so much alike as well as different. That is all true. Please find friends here. Please celebrate how you're alike, right? It's all important and wonderful, and we are something more than that, y'all. We are something deeper and harder and more beautiful. I believe with my whole heart that we have the love in this place, the love, the spacious grace, that center of deep respect for humanity that will hold as we continue to evolve and do our work at the edges.
Preach it, sister.
What's our work? What's our work at the edges? The work of rooting in the love, rooting individually, rooting collectively. The work of knowing who our neighbors are, of doing our outward-facing work to be a blessing to this world, each in the way we can. Lars has his ways of being a blessing to this world, and so do you. Hi, buddy. We're going to do the work of identifying who we secretly think of as other. When we get tweaked inside, recognizing it, and then reckoning out loud, as often as we can, with each other, with our fear. Attending to the edges. We'll do the work of relating to each other, one-on-one, in small groups. We'll
will do the work of being in relationship with change, of embracing and being willing to be changed by anybody who shows up here. Knowing that our collective destinations cannot be separated. Our flourishing and our failing are mutual. Not just us in this room. Not just Don. Don in the context of Don's whole family. Freedom comes with the embrace of the interdependence. So our work is in remembering that we are living our faith when we show up authentically with our full selves. We're doing the work of living our faith when everyone else also has the space to realize their full selves. And finally, when our relationships become torn, when things get messy, because we know they do. We're humans, we're meat, they always get messy. When that happens, we have to call each other back in, and we have to live into our promise that there's always a path back. There's always a way to return. No one is canceled. We're almost done, Allie. He can stay. We're good. As Richard Blanco, Larcy lets me know when we have too many words. He's like, all done words, Mom. I'm going to go back to Richard Blanco. It's in your order of service. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that we are the cure for hatred caused by despair. That we are the cure. That we're the good morning of a bus driver who remembers our name, the tattooed man who gives up the seat on the subway. That we are every door held open with a smile. And when we look into each other's eyes, the way we behold the moon, we're the moon. We're the promise of one people, one breath, declaring to one another, I see you, I need you, I am you. Amen. We'll invite the choir up. Nobody will come when Leah has the day off, so thank you. I chose this amazing final hymn. It's in 5/4, y'all, and it's so cool. 5/4 just throws us a little bit off, and it's so good that way. And it's completely normal in many cultures, just not ours, right? So it's good, it's good. Sing it. It's number 1028 in your teal hymnal. Hymnal.
Come on.
another, reaching out to each other. Hi, how beautiful we are. I can't do both and hold the mic. You know what I'm saying? Remember, we are connected. We are woven together with strong and sturdy threads of love. So go in peace and be a blessing to this world. Thank you.